Okay, we've got quite a few things going on. Snack, some weight stickers, some stickers I made in Canva, and then this is July of 2022, but it happens to align with March, the month. I can't find the pages I was using in my catch-all for my fitness pages, so we're gonna try this one instead. This is a little dirty, but that's okay. Set goals for this month, things to follow up on. We're gonna try this. It is the timed layout. It's got from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then this here, and then two things here on the side, a focus, daily habit. We're gonna see if we can tweak this and make this work for my fitness pages because I can't find the other one. And that's my mineral water opening. It is already the 8th. No, I'm lying. It's the 7th of March. So we need to get into this. And as you can see, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be even later in March. And so this is not really a March reset of my planner. This is like maybe a March catch up or a March meet you where you're at. I don't know. But I'm going to get into this. I'll probably just speed you through and then come back and show you what I did. Okay. I think I kind of have a layout. I know I just said I was going to speed you guys up and then I may do that as I go through it, but oh no. We've been going through our planner supplies for the past couple years, if you've been with me on this, because this is kind of what happens. I save it and we don't use them up. And then, ooh, the sun's out.
Sun's out, sun's out.
Yay. The sun has not been out all day today. It's been gray and dreary and not in a good way, just like in a sad, ominous way. So, squirrel, sorry, we're going off on a different tangent. Anyways, I don't know if this will stick. If we can't get this to stick, let's toss it and move on. But, oh, yay, will it work? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's how many things we were tracking. Tracking protein, carbs, fat, fiber, water, and steps. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can get this washi tape to stick. If it doesn't, like I said, we're moving on. We're not using it. We're just going to use this. Then you make me happy. Ugh, but this washi tape is not making me happy. We may end up just letting it go anyways. Here's a good reminder. My thought is we will cover this up.
What was that?
It broke, it ripped again.
Oh, come on.
Right? I've got my daughter in the room with me here. And she's said she's going to be quiet, but she's also playing a video game. It's her game time. And so she's done with her chores, and that's why she opted for free time. But, yeah. She's also just chiming in. So, here we go. Let's cut the edges off here. I do think that this tape is too frustrating. Let's just let it go. I don't want to because I'm like, oh, look, it worked for a second, but it's more frustrating than it is. And then even the top part, because it stayed wound so long, it's kind of extra sticky, but I wanted to at least finish since I started with it. Okay. Like that. Kind of stuck to it. There's adhesive on this side. I was thinking I could use some of these. I have a lot of these little dots that I'm like, what do I do with them? This came from a super old book, but I'm thinking maybe I can use it to cover up the time here, and you know, for the things we need to track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I want to do that many colors though. My thought was to have like one color for each thing, like protein, carbs, fats, etc. But I don't know. Do I like that many different colors? Does it matter? It doesn't. So here's what I think we're gonna do for this month, and I'm just gonna do this on every weekly page, is I just put a little arrow like you saw to cover up the date here, and then the dates should align up with, I'm lying, this week it won't line up because it went from February to March. But since we've already passed, it's okay. We can just use this as a template. But past this, the dates will line up with March current dates. So we'll cover up the monthly here because that won't, we can either put a motivation sticker or we can put a monthly thing here. And then what I'm going to use this top little part here for is some wins. So one of the things that that I'm making sure to write down is some daily wins. And for me, first, I wanted to think daily wins had to be some kind of productivity based item, which was just kind of mentally not helping. So it had to be a productivity type thing, like I hit my macros for the day, or I it had to be some kind of fitness win. It couldn't be just like an overall life win. And I never really thought that I could put down like smaller wins, like homeschooled the kids today. That's all that we could get done. That's what we got done. Hey, that's still a win. And really, I was talking with a friend and I was like, you know what? She mentioned all I did today was feed the baby. She has a little one. That was a win for her. She fed the baby. And I was like, oh, but what if we looked at this differently and we changed our words, and all you did today was sustain life because she's breastfeeding and she's the only one that can feed sweet babies. So in that perspective, we're like, yeah, total win. But I think that we don't, I don't anyways, always listen to the words that I'm speaking over myself or even to other people. What would happen, my kids and I were going over this a few months ago, what would happen if we started calling each other, like my beloved, or if we were like, daughter of the one true king. I don't know, just like things, what's up, prayer warrior? Like if we just started calling ourselves things that were uplifting, and what would that change in us, and how would that like rewire our brain and help us? And so just things we were talking about, kind of the power of words and things like that. So here, I'm going to start writing down more of my wins, especially because we're just coming off a really high stress time. And, I don't know if it'll ever not have some kind of stress. I think that's like next to impossible. But just to kind of try to rewire the brain, we're going to think of some wins. And like I said, those can be smaller things like homeschool the kids, or they can be bigger things like, I worked out for 5 days in a row, whatever it is, but we're going to mark some wins up here. And then down here on the side where it's just got little arrows, I use that to write movement and outside. So like I noticed the sun was out and I'm like, oh, let me hurry and get outside, get some sun on my face. So I'm going to mark down any movement that I do. Now, whether that is a full strength training workout, or it's just I got on the stationary bike and I did that, or I did a gentle stretch video, whatever it is, it's movement, it's intentional. I'm going to mark it down here. And then if I got some outside time, we'll mark it down there. I just covered up the time here, and this is going to be more of the area where I kind of journal or jot down just a little bit of like a summary of the day. And then down here, like I said, we're just going to mark down protein, carbs, fats, fibers, water, and steps, and put that in. And then that way I kind of have a snapshot of our week and what that looks like. So I'm going to do that, like I said, for every week. And then I'll come back and tackle, maybe I'll do something with these, but I won't, I'll just give you a quick flip through what it looks like when we're done. It's gonna look pretty much the same, but I won't make you sit through all of it. Okay, we're at the goal page. Let's see. We've got set a goal, 3 ways I expect to achieve this goal, and then what worked last month and how can I carry out those strategies into this goal. Quite honestly, February was tough, really, really tough. And it feels like we still have just come into March and it still feels rough. It does feel like we're like maybe just, we've gone from drowning to treading water, but like we're still just treading water. So let's see. I want some softer goals, gentler goals maybe is the word. So the first one is gonna have to do with like mentally, I'm not sure how I want to word this, but what I want to do is continue to rewire my brain to see the positive. So maybe let's write that. Okay, so I'm going to continue to rewire my brain to see the positive and focus on joy. Does this mean that I'm just going to be blindly optimistic? No, but I'm going to continue to work on my brain, rewiring it just to see more positivity. So in the same way that what I have here is just a no. I know we're kind of going in the opposite direction, but we're jumping from 1 to 3. But here, so on the side under 3, I wrote, your mind will start to notice more evidence of joy and positivity the more you feed it those things. So for example, the best way I heard it today actually was that as soon as you think you want a specific car or you want a specific thing, so as soon as I think I want a red truck, I don't want a red truck. I wouldn't say no to a red truck, but it's just an example. So as soon as I think that I want this specific red truck, I start to see them everywhere on the road, right? So you kind of have those examples, and so your brain is looking for these examples. And so the more that I feed it these examples of wins and positivities, the more it's going to pick up on it, and the more like we're going to create new pathways there, right? So under number 2, action steps, it says 3 ways I expect to achieve this goal, but I just have 2 down. 1 is the daily wins, not just fitness related. And then 2 would be to continue to research how I can give my brain, I wrote happy hits because I didn't know really how else to word it. But you know, all the dopamine and serotonin and all that stuff, like how can that's what I mean by happy hits. So I want to continue to research how I can do that don't depend on outside circumstances. So what can I do to help myself achieve these things? Well, you can go for a walk if the weather is good and time permits. If I can't go for a walk, well, you can take a minute and do something creative. Sit down and color with the kids. Like pause everything and do that. Do something creative. You can make yourself a really nice cup of tea. Just slow down and do something. So things that don't someone doesn't have to knock on the door and say, hey, guess what? I found $1 million and I want to give it to you. That would be awesome, but doesn't depend on outside circumstances. And then the other goal is to continue eating for my mind and body. So working my way back up in February, because like I said, it was super stressful. I actually, towards the end of February there, was really losing my appetite and not eating as much as I should. And so I want to make sure that my gut gets back to being good. I want to actually do some more research on that. It's just not a thing I can add to my plate right now. So for right now, I'm just going to focus on maybe having some sort of fermented food or a kombucha, something like that, at least once a day. We're just going to start with baby steps. And then I put myself a little note, will this make me happy 30 minutes from now? Sometimes I think I really want this piece of junk food and I'm just going to eat it. But then like 30 minutes from after I eat it, I'm like, ugh, that did not even taste good and that was not what I wanted. So just kind of having that mindset. Is this really going to make me happy, or do do I want to do something else? Do I even want the food, or do I want to sit down and maybe pray? Do I want to sit down and do a quick devotional? What is really going to make me happier? And then I just wrote water, water, water. So that's it for our goals. These here, I'm just going to use this maybe checklist or brain dumps if I need it on this other side. And then the monthly view, I'm going to leave it because like I said, it's all pretty much dated. I'm just going to white out holidays. That down. Oh, it's not showing up very well on camera, but you may just have to take my word that it says March. And I can cover this up if I wanted to as well, but I think we'll be okay. The only other thing I need to do is to trim it down because I'm not in a happy planner and I don't know how I forgot this little moment. Trying to find a page to show you how you trim it down. Here we go. So this week I didn't get to finish. You can see more of my mess here. But I cut it down and then I hole punched it in here. It's probably going to go into the stickers that I laid out. But at this point in the game, y'all, not that big a deal. It'll probably cut into these. So maybe I should move these over a little. But like I said, I'm not going to be worried about it right now. I'm just going to trim it down, get it in there so that it's done. And that is it for these fitness pages getting in there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and getting it done. I really appreciate you taking your time out and spending it here with me. Honestly, I do. I know there are a bajillion videos you could be watching. So I appreciate that you took your time out and spent it here with me. And as always, if you don't know or you just need to be reminded, may be the one to tell you that you are deeply loved and truly, truly appreciated. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.